Good evening, Magic fans, and welcome to another night of Magic the Gathering action, brought to you by us here at Epic Gaming. I'm Kevin. I'm going to be your primary stream operator for the night, and we're going to kick things off right away. We're going to start off with a couple games of unranked standard. We're going to play everyone's favorite, 5-color Shrines. This is probably one of the most fun decks in this format right now. We still haven't tuned it up too much, but for the most part, it does exactly what it needs to do. It draws cards, it plays Shrines, and it sometimes accelerates a little bit of mana. It's an absolutely phenomenal deck to play. A lot of really cool, fun interactions, but for the most part, you just draw through your deck and try to get as many Sanctums in play as fast as possible. Don't have a black source for this Sanctum, but we do have 3 lands and a Calyx to start filtering towards the rest of our cards we need. And the 1-drop Sanctum is just nice to have in play, so yeah, we'll go ahead and keep this hand. The hope is that we draw into a black source for our Sanctum of Stonefangs. This is probably one of the best Sanctums in this deck. Because simply because simply because of the passive life gain that you get. Even if you're just getting the 1 life return from this, it can be very helpful at just keeping you in the game against any sort of aggressive deck. Go ahead and play a tap land and play a Sanctum. We have all of our green-white sources in our hand. We have, I think, all of our Temple Gardens in hand. So they're playing a Mardu Knights or something? Or maybe just Mardu. Okay. Well, we know what 3-drop we need to play, so we can go ahead and play another tap land. And pass. We are not doing a lot in this game. So it's not with this hand. But that's not too much of a problem. We got a Calyx in play. And now we can start trying to find some more enchantments and other goodies. Cool. And we can cast that because we have red sources. Looks like our opponent wasn't having it. They may have been playing the Mardu, the 3-color Winota. I've heard that the new Winota deck is pretty scary, so hopefully we don't. Hopefully, if we do see it, we're able to deal with it, and if we don't see it, then we'll do some research and see what it's like. As always, of course, if anyone in stream, as always, and of course, if anyone in stream is interested in playing against us, just speak up, let us know, and we can add you to the friend list so you can challenge us. So we don't have a green source on 1 for this Arboreal Grazer, which is kind of unfortunate, because if we did, this hand would be insane. We'd be able to go turn 1, Arboreal Grazer into playing something, and then turn 2 be able to play the Chromatic Lantern. Unfortunately, we don't have the ability to do that. So the question is it worth it to wait? To play the Arboreal on 2, play the 2nd land, and then do nothing really off of that? I think this hand's fine. I think we'll keep it. And so we do this immediately. We get the green source. So we can play the Arboreal. So we can put the Grazer next turn. Boom. Green Forest. Put the Grazer. Put this into play. We'll enter tapped. Put this into play. We'll enter as is. Now get the untap and either play the Sanctum or the Chromatic Lantern. Chromatic lets us next turn play the Sanctum of All, and I like that. So we're going to go ahead, play this. Go ahead and play the Chromatic Lantern, play the land. Now we have 4 lands that tap for anything. Okay. And now play the Sanctum of All. So they have 3 for 5 mana, 6 of a land drop, so I'm not too worried about what they have coming up. Granted, they have like a Gem Razor or something. That'd be really bad for us. Okay, Nissa is worrisome, but should be fine. We can just block. We'll take that 3. We'll block. Nothing wrong with that.
I will protect the virtue of this world.
All right, getting some lands. So I'm gonna search the library. And we want more cards. So blue. Yes, we're gonna choose to draw 2 and discard a card. Let's discard the Sanctum because we don't need it. Don't need to Shatter. This Nissa could be worrisome, so we're going to wait a turn before doing anything about the Nissa. We have 5 mana to play with, so I think we can just put the Sanctum, hold up Revitalize to buy another turn pretty much. No, we'll do it now in case we draw land. Okay. Red Sanctum. So next turn we'll get 3 mana. We can use that 3 mana on this Sanctum right here. Actually, we'll get 4 mana because we get the Tutor for 1 first. So I think what we'll do on our next turn, well, definitely on action on our next turn, we're going to shatter this guy, blow up this board, so we don't want to die. Oh, Meteor Golem. Okay. Smart. This only adds 2. Still fine. We'll draw.
Witness the ties.
Oh, this is a tap because they attacked. Right. Okay. Sanctum of Shattered Heights. Yes, we will go ahead, draw 2 cards. Get rid of this excess Sanctum. And now we're going to add 2 whites. And then use that 2 white. I'm playing this land. Shatter the Skies, get rid of all these creatures. They're all 3/3s, which means they don't draw anything off of that. And the question is, do we play the Uro, or do we play the Sanctum and then shoot the Planeswalker? We won't be shooting the Planeswalker very much, so I think Uro... No, we'll play the Sanctum. Play the Sanctum. Oh, we don't have anything. We don't have any Sanctums. We don't have any shrines or lands in hand to discard to activate it. So that's actually unfortunate. Still fine though. We have an Uro in play. We have an Uro in hand. Yard is starting to get kind of full, which is great. Means once we actually get Uro in play, we can do the thing.
Rise, my elemental friend.
The best part. Oh, that's an Ugin. Oh no. That's just game. We don't have a way of doing with that Uro. Oh, with the Ugin. And they can just -4, and they'll still have their... oh, they're plussing and attacking.
Ghost fire.
That's...
my greatest creation.
It's aggressive. Okay. Blue. Thirst for Meaning, drawing 3, and we'll get rid of these 2 lands that don't help us. Okay. 1, 2, 3 lands. So we could kill this. Oh, we don't have the last land we need to be able to... Still fine, though. Okay, yeah, we'll just do that. Alright, we're on cleanup duty. 3 damage there.
Restrain yourself.
3 damage there.
Enough.
3 damage here.
Your efforts will not succeed.
I don't know. You're down to 3. Not too worried about yet. Okay. Well, nothing. No lands to put into play. That's unfortunate, but more things to discard to our red Sanctum. They got plenty of lands in hand. So this is the mono green ramp deck. All right, we are down to 3 life. Thankfully, we can play our Uro next turn, on our turn. We'll Revitalize to back it up. Oh, playing another Ugin. So the question is, are you minusing with Ugin? Yes. Okay. Trying to get rid of my board as best as possible.
To the essence of the multiverse.
Yep. So we can just play this Uro. We're going to get rid of all of these cards in our graveyard. All these lands. A real proper Uro in play. That goes into the hand into play as it does normally. So we'll tap this one, and then we'll play this as tapped. And we still have mana for Revitalize, so we'll go ahead and Revitalize. All right, Black Sanctum is pretty helpful. Actually, our opponent has lethal. Do they see it, though? Because our opponent has lethal with make 3 dudes and then -3 Ugin. Do they see it? Do they see their lethal out? Oh, no!
Let us begin. I will not stop.
My Chromatic Lantern. I can't use it now. Does our opponent see the lethal out? Do we get a chance? Do we get the untap? Could be fantastic if we get the untap. Okay, I saw it.
You are too dangerous to roam free.
All right, folks, I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, I am back. I'm going to quickly go through that Shrines deck and kind of see what all is actually in it. See if there's a way to kind of tool it up, change things out. So like the Thirst Meeting, I don't think we need 4. I'm really enjoying Revitalize. I think that was a good addition over replacing the... what did we replace? We replaced the... Wild Growth. Not Wild Growth. Growth Spiral. We replaced Growth Spiral with Revitalizes. Bro Grazers are fine. Panic Lanterns do their job. Sanctum, all that stuff. I'm going to add... Idyllic Tutor. I like that a little bit better than the double Thirst Meeting. I still like Thirst Meeting. It's great. Draws us through. But I want to try the Idyllic Tutor, just so we can guarantee finding the ones the creatures we need. All right, and then we're gonna play probably 1 or 2 more games of this, and we'll switch back to doing regular standard ranked, so we can get some value with Red-Green Stompy. Okay, 2 lands, 2 drop to cast. It looks like we're playing the new Amonkhet board. Cool. Yeah, I like this. This looks cool. But yeah, I can keep this. Our opponent's going first, so we're drawing a card. We lead in with the tap land, play an untapped land with a Revitalize. Hopefully draw a land at that point. If we draw any land, we'll be good. We'll throw some Meaning and Shattered Heights on deck, ready to go. And we have the Thirst for Meaning to kind of draw into more stuff. We have this 1-drop Sanctum that we can play, depending if we draw a nice land for 1. Now all we need to do is for our opponent to connect to the game, and so we can play. Yeah, I really like this new Amonkhet board. This is cool. This is just super cool. Amonkhet, I didn't play like at all during the Amonkhet block. And I remember Amonkhet being kind of dull and bland during the its release and whatnot. I remember the story being really cool and like having some really good themes in it, but not doing anything, which is unfortunate. Hopefully our opponent is actually here, but so far it doesn't look like they are. Oh, okay. It's a very slow Fabled Passage. So we want to play our 3-drops on 3, so we're going to go ahead and play the tap land on 2. Tap land on 1, so we play our untapped land on 2 to play our 2-drop. So we're going to play our untapped land on 3 to play our 3-drop. Doesn't it feels like our opponent isn't all here? They've got this Fabled Passage, and they've decided that they want to play as slow as possible. Their goal is to prove why having timers that we need to have a chess timer instead of a single turn timer. Okay. Revitalize, gain that life back, draw a card. Awesome. Shard of the Skies is great. Go ahead and pay the 2 life, and then we can go ahead and let's get this first Sanctum in. So we can begin threatening the whole Sanctum dealio. Alright. So far it looks like they're playing red-green ramp. Also, this white text on gray is hard on the eyes. Okay, let's play this tap land. We can Revitalize now. Sweet, we'll land for next turn, and we can play a 1-drop. Best part now as well is that actually we still don't have a black source, which is very unfortunate. But in a turn or two, we should be able. We'll be able to not shatter the sky. Be able to use our Idyllic Tutor. We have double shatter. That's good though. And we'll use our tutor to be able to get the 5-color shrine as soon as we can. But in the meantime, what if we Thirst for Meaning? Try and find something helpful. Really like it if our opponent would connect to the game so we could play. Okay. They finally realized that they had to give me control. Okay. Awesome. And now we let's play a tapped land. Pass. That's all I wanted to do, guy. I just wanted to cast my spell in my main phase and pass. And you wanted to put 9 counters on a land, it becomes legendary. Gotcha. You have a 9/9. That's a little scary. I don't have the mana to activate this yet, but I will soon. Also, we can just Shatter. I think Shatter's going to be the right play here. Cancel. We'll take the damage now. We'll save this for later. We have to hope that they don't have a Heroic Intervention. Yeah, that's fine. I still have mana for Heroic Intervention. So actually, yeah, now I want to test for Heroic Intervention. Do they have a Heroic Intervention? They do not. Perfect. Continue playing these tapped lands. They do have a full grip, which is unfortunate. But I'm not too concerned. We'll get this game in the late game. Still no black source, which means this Idyllic Tutor cannot find us our Sanctum of All. So we need that. We need that primarily. Before we can get that Sanctum of All, we need to. That has haste, don't it? We dead. Yep. Yep, that was way too slow for me to tolerate playing casuals again. So, we're just going to switch on over to regular ranked and see how well our red-green deck wants to work for us today. With a 2-drop, we draw a land, we're good, so I'll say we keep it. And it's any land in the deck. Oh, so it's any land that we draw, we're good. Better yet, drew the land we perfectly fine having being tapped. Oh, and it's mono red and they did not have the 1-drop. Took the Pelt Collector. That's a little unfortunate, but thankfully we're at the point where we don't need the Pelt Collector in play. It's turn 2. Excellent. Well, we'll play our 3-drop. We have our 4th land, so hand is online. Next, we play our Spellbreaker, followed up with the Questing Beast, and then afterwards we can do Hrada with some other action. Am I gonna make it unblockable? Or am I just going to eat your guy for free? Okay. The question is, do they want to play the Pelt Collector or not? Ah, light up the stage. Fervent Knight and Embercleave. Okay, so next turn I know for a fact they're only playing Embercleave or trying to play Embercleave. They'll play a land and attack with both creatures they can. No creatures in graveyards, so I'm going to go ahead. I'll play a big hate. I want to play a big guy, but attack with my other guy. There's the Fervent Champion. Now all our opponent needs to do is play a land, swing up all 3, and they can still cast that Embercleave. However, if they don't have that land, then we're not worried. Okay. Attack with the 1 creature to get that point of damage in. Are they going to cast Life this stage, or are they going to put the Pelt Collector in play now? Just playing another Toon Streak. Okay, so their game plan is to try and chip us out of the game, and that's not going to work well for them. We're going to go ahead. We're going to hold back the 3/3. No, we have to swing with 3/3 too. We can swing with the whole board. We got a 4/4 that blocks. Yeah, we're still at 16. I'm not really scared of our opponent's board. Torbrain is scary, actually. Thankfully, they can't do anything off of Torbrain beyond attacking, so we'll be able to just swing out at our opponent. They can't do anything about our Questing Beast either. This also gives Trample, makes this into a 5/5. And then we'll have 2 mana afterwards. Yeah. And now we get to go to combat. Swing with the crew. So we got a 4/4 that they can't block, and we have 9 power worth of trample. 1, 2, yeah, they're just dead. They could block all. They could probably block all of the points of trample, but then they just take the 4, lose their board, and then the game is over. All right. Let's see if we can continue to make best of 1 red-green a thing. No green sources means we need to mulligan that. 3 lands, ambush. We get rid of the. Oh, we're not doing anything until turn 3. I'm gonna keep it. Get rid of the Embercleave, and hope we're able to. We're on the play too. Oh boy, this is not where we want to be. Still fine. We can play the bone. We can stomp once they try to do something. Question is, who do I want to hit with the stomp? The Scorch Bitter or the Dodger? The Dodger we can pick off. So we're going to get rid of the Spitter. And a Fervent Champion. Take 2. Okay. By the land. By the big stompy boy. Something fun we can do next turn is double Domri's Ambush on our Bone Crusher. We take 4 because we have to target it twice to do so. But it also makes it a 6/5, and we get to kill 2 things and hit our opponent. I just moved right through combat. You love to see it. However, I'm not going to go for the play we talked about last turn. It's a funny play. It's not necessarily a good play. We're just going to play the Questing Beast and attack our opponent for a lot. what is this? Whenever a creature you control with power 2 or less attacks, this does damage to a creature or planeswalker. Ah, I see. So it's a Cavalier of Calamity, but slightly different. Well, I don't like Fervent Knights. And Scorchbitter racks up the damage pretty quickly. Yep, they knew what was happening. Heyo! And just like that, gold tier 1. All right. Turn 1 Tapland, turn 2 Castle Embereth, turn 3. Well, turn 1 Tapland, turn 2 Embereth into Paradise, into turn 3 do something. Yeah, I like it. If we draw a land, we get to play the Spellbreaker. No 1-drop. Okay. I like our odds. I now don't like our odds at all. So I haven't drawn a land yet. So if I want something to get countered, I want it to be my 2-drop that doesn't accelerate us. It resolved. Okay. We're gonna give him haste. So I don't think they can flash anything in that would do. Well, there's the 2-drop elf they could flash in. Aha, it's the 2/1. Okay. Alright, cast your first spell on your opponent's turn. It gets a counter. Okay. Thornwood Falls. Interesting that they're running in something like that. Okay. Well, let's see if we can bait out a counter spell. Yep, there it is. Perfect. Yeah, play Domri. Pray Domri resolves. Let him resolve, please. Don't do this to me. Don't kill me with a 2/3. Yep, we're gonna die to a single creature. We're gonna die to our opponent having 2 counter spells. I still don't understand how I'm supposed to be able to play against an opponent that does that. It still boggles my mind, like, what I'm actually supposed to do in that scenario. Is it not play Magic cards? Is it not cast spells? Is it just sit there and do nothing and wait till I have 20 mana? I still don't understand. I really don't. I've been playing Magic for God knows how long. And I still can't fathom the way of beating blue-green, half my hand is counter spells, half my hand is threats. There's no point in which you get a chance to respond to anything they're doing, because either you take your turn on your turn, or you take your turn on their turn. And all they are doing is taking their turn on your turn. They don't do anything on their own turn except for attack with their creatures that they played on your turn. So there's no way of interacting with what they're doing, because they only do things once you are tapped out. So if you never do anything, they have free reign. If you do things, they stop you. And if they do let you do anything, they have something to deal with it, with something better to deal with it. It's just very frustrating to not be able to play Magic. We'll get rid of the Domri's Ambush, I guess. Yeah. No, we'll get rid of the Spellbreaker. So there you go, Curve, Spellbreaker, Ambush, Spellbreaker. Yeah, Pellet Collector, Ambush, Spellbreaker. If we draw a land, we'll be able to put a Embercleave on something while we attack. So they're playing Sultai Control. Because we can play as tap land, because they don't have a creature. Yep, they are planning on ramping into Ugin or doing Oro things, where they're planning on getting to 6 or 8 mana as fast as possible, and then just having more. And their game plan is just to have a lot of mana in play to do things with. And so our goal is to kill them before they get a chance to actually use that mana. Okay, I've got a 1/1. The right pick would be Embercleave. Spellbreaker's interesting, though. So we can play this with haste and hit them for another 5, or we can hit them for another 3 and leave this as and make it a 3/3. I think we'll go with that. Now it doesn't die a second cry in case our opponent has a second cry. There's the first Uro. So they undid my last turn. And now if they have a second Uro in hand, they can do it again, or they can cultivate. And here you're kind of seeing the issue of yep, there's Ugin. Ugin -3s, gets rid of the board. And that's game.
Chance to fail.
There's no one card we can draw that saves the day.
Can be undone. Do not ignore my draconic talents.
Yeah, if they're escaping her, we can't stop it. Our whole out is play Bone Crusher, hitting our opponent, and then hoping we draw into... Yeah, is hoping to draw the other 4 points of damage in the form of Questing Beast in the second main phase. On our turn. Yeah. Yeah, this deck is primarily designed to be able to fight for the board. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of decks that are actually trying, like, this deck can be aggro, but that's about it. Really, is what it feels like nowadays. It can't beat control. It's not quite fast enough for whatever reason, and it can't beat ramp because ramp is still control. Just a very unfortunate world we live in. where even though 3-drop Teferi's gone, his impacts on Standard are still felt in every aspect of it. Yeah, if we never get a word in if we never get anything in, like if we don't have a 1-drop or we're not on the play and our opponent has a response to anything we do during the first like 2 turns of the game, it's very hard for us to actually come back, which is really unfortunate. Because now we lose to Doom Foretold. A non-land, non-token permanent. So we just lose our creature. So we perpetually lose our creature every turn. So there's no point in playing a Questing Beast because we're not going to have it, not going to be able to play it. We don't get to do anything with it. Okay. So we waste our turn getting rid of that, and they get rid of their Oath or their Doom Foretold. Then they redevelop something else to the board. And now they Doom Foretold on our turn. So now they're Doom Foretold triggers with a discard a card. They lose stuff and they get a thing, and it's just, it's miserable. It's miserable. And look, there it is. Here's another one. You don't get to play Magic. Standard right now really feels like it's whoever got to resolve their 2-drop. Whoever resolved their 2-drop wins. Because they got a card in play and their opponent didn't. If your opponent thought Scour you, or whatever that one is, the 2-drop of a card, then you've lost. Did you resolve your 2-drop and it'll hit your opponent? Cool. Now you have a creature on board and they can't stop you. Did they get their 1-drop, 2-drop into play in that order? Congratulations, they won the game. It just doesn't feel like it feels like you have to make a big impactful play every single turn, and if you don't, it's why are you even playing the game? Yep. Like, this game's over now. We don't have a untapped land to play, so we can't play our 2-drop. We also won't be able to play our 3-drop either. Our 4-drop is basically dead. Like, this game is over. Our opponent has already won because they had Shock on turn 1. Like, they're playing blue-red. Yeah, they're playing blue-red spells, so we're very dead. They take 3, they pass back to us, they cast a Shock or anything from hand, and then they attack a Dreadhorde, and they shock our... Yeah, they do any amount of damage to our creature, and then they cast Shock when they attack and kill us. So they still have 2 mana, so they're definitely planning on casting something from hand and turning this into a guy. So we're going to play 2 3/3s with haste to play around their inevitable anything. Since these have hexproof, they can't actually stop them, so you have to cast something to make this into a 3/3, and then block, and then do something else as well. And 1 mana, 1 card in hand. All right. One drop, 2 drop. If you draw any lands, the rest of the hand is good. I didn't see if we were going first or not, but look, luckily, opponent didn't have an actual 1 drop. Oh yeah, Sprite Dragon. Okay. Oh, we're gonna play our Haster and hit our opponent. More prowess and haste. Actually, this doesn't have prowess. It's just flying haste. No land is very unfortunate, so we want to get rid of this Sprite Dragon because it's going to grow, and that will kill us. So while it's within striking range, we need to get it out of here. Royal Scions gives things haste, lets them draw cards.
I will inspire your heart.
Yep.
Strike fear into the hearts of the
Now we really need some lands, and we're not seeing them, which is very bad for us. And so we're going to play another 2/2. Let's make sure this one has haste. And we're going to continue attacking our opponent's face. We unfortunately are not going to win this damage war, but forcing it to be something close to a damage war is how we stay in it.
fear and charge.
Ah, got a turn. Okay. A bit unusual to see. Yeah, if the first card they draw is instant a sorcery, they can cast a copy of it. Hey, don't say that. You're a jerk. Certified jerk. Let's see. I mean, they do have lethal in the air. Still rude for saying it. Oh, this is reach. Yeah, we're mutating. And their first card wasn't something they can cast. Cool.
Strike fear into the hearts of the wicked.
They have 8 coming in, 4 of which is trample. So if I block, it doesn't trample. And none of it tramples over. Oh, it was first strike trample, right? Yeah, we're just dead. Cool. Didn't draw lands. Would have a very different game if we drew lands that game. No forest means this hand is unkeepable. I'm going to get rid of the... Embercleave is how we win the game, but we don't have the hand that leads up to it very well. And actually, we want this in play on 1. We're not doing anything on 2 though. We might cast this on 2, so that's fine. Yeah. More 1-drops, perfect champion, more things to first strike. So our 1/1 isn't going to be able to do anything against it. Unfortunate. I'll play a mountain and pass. Well, Bone Crusher, if they do something crazy, and we'll be able to play a 3rd land and play Bone Crusher itself. Let's get rid of the Fervent Knight. And we take 2. Ah, Spitfire. That's going to be a problem. Play this Mountain. Play a Bone Crusher. And now we can block the Grim Initiates. Block being maybe an overstatement. Okay, so they tapped out for a Spitfire. That's actually really good for us. That means our opponent isn't actually doing that much. So we get to play this Temple of Abandon, so we don't have the untapped green source to be able to play the Bone Crusher. Not Bone Crusher, the Questing Beast. And we still have to hold our resources back as our opponent can swing out and kill us quite easily from this point. Alright, play the land. So now we can play the Questing Beast and crash in, or we can hold back and use the Bone Crusher. I think it's best to just put the Questing Beast in play, try to end the game. We'll swing with the Bone Crusher in addition to the Questing Beast. The terrifying part is when these Spitfires get the bonuses. Making it blockable. Thankfully they can't buff, so we block here, we block here, and we're taking 4, 8. Oh, we're dead. Just dead. Playing against a shark in a suit. Hopefully it's a nice suit. And hopefully we connect to the game. Adorable little dog. Okay. No red sources, which makes our hand pretty suspect. And we're on the draw. So we're not doing anything after the Scavenging Ooze. We're not doing anything before the Scavenging Ooze. Yeah, I want to take the mulligan. Wow, this hand's a lot worse. We'll keep it. We'll get rid of the Embercleave and hope to draw into something, but not expect much. Yeah, they're keeping their 6. We'll keep our 6. We'll get rid of the Embercleave. Mono white. Yeah, mono white. This is going to be real fun. And we drew a land. Okay. We're not winning this game. And they're curving. And they went first. And they're playing slow. Oh boy. Okay, we're conceding now. I don't want to waste 20 minutes of everyone's time because our opponent's going to take 17 minutes to learn how to attack. It is a bit awkward because we don't we can put the Pulp Collector on 1, but then we are abandoning our turn 2 play. I think it's still fine. We're gonna give up on the Pulp Collector on 1, put the Skews on 2, and lead off with the Temple Abandon. Especially now that we've seen the 3rd land. And we do have the means to be able to play 2-drop, 3-drop. So leaving this on top means that with our 3 lands and 3 creatures, we'll be able to attack with 3 creatures, play Embercleave, hit our opponent for Embercleave. Let's give it a counter. Ah. So their goal is never to let us have any creatures in play. Which, you know, pretty smart of them. but also incredibly frustrating. Because they're going to win off of just that, off of these 3 cards. They're going to win off 2 cards, Eliminate and Murderous Rider. And nothing else. Like, it didn't matter what they cast this turn. It really didn't matter what they cast. Because now we can't do anything, period. Our game is already over.
Eons ago. That almost hurt. You amuse me.
Yeah, it never mattered what our opponent did after they disrupted us twice. It just mattered that they disrupted us twice. They got rid of 2 of our creatures, and that's it. That's all they needed to do this game. Do you have counter spell or a kill spell? Yep, and that's game. It never matters what cards they have, as long as they are able to cast cards. Now that people can run cards at instant speed, you have to also be able to run cards at instant speed, and this deck doesn't. So why bother playing? Like, I could rebuild this deck, but it's not going to work at all. Like, it doesn't work. It's a creature-based aggro deck. If you're running a creature deck, everything has to cost 2 or less for you to be able aggressive enough to kill your opponent. If you're running cards that cost 3 CMC or more, you have to be running a dedicated ramp deck to be able to get the mana to cast those spells. And if not, you're running a control deck. Like, I'd love to continue to play this deck, but it just doesn't work in this in this meta anymore. There's enough decks that actually have interaction. There's enough decks that just wait until you do something, and they counter or kill, and then they wait till you have no cards in hand, and they play their 1 creature and kill you. Do you want this 4th land? Yes. I don't really want to be drawing it off the top of my library, but whatever. We're dead anyways. They're playing mono red. So they can. Oh, they can't put their commander into play. They can't put their companion into play, so they still have to pay for it, which is nice. And now I get to blow up their mana rock, which is pretty neat. And this is now a 4/4. That said, if our opponent has 1 more land in hand, they can play their Urbosh and hit us for quite a bit. Yep, they had the land. our land. So I'm going to develop 2 creatures in hopes of next turn attacking with Embercleave and hitting our opponent for a lot. Thankfully, they don't have the mana to actually activate their Castle Embereth, so we're fine. They seem confused by the fact that this is a 4/4 and this is also a 4/4. Ah, they're trying to shock. Oh, it does double damage, right. Excellent. Wonderful. Ooh, we drew not a land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sure, let's deal 4. Play the Bone Crusher, end turn, and then we hope that we don't die, and then we try again with the Embercleave. Go to blocks. So this always has to block. Boom. And then this is 8. Oh, they have this. Okay. Block. Cool. 2 creatures that, and they get a bunch of creatures they can't block, but this is the problem. Five with all the stats or this thing. Well, this is our only out, so we're doing it. Haste. Attack with both. Go to blocks. Oh, it's exactly lethal. Perfect. And we're back to gold 1. All right, I think we're going to make this next game the last game of the night. Okay, we've got our Bone Crusher on 2 into 3, and then we have a Questing Beast. So as long as we draw a land, we're fine. Play a tap land. Alright, looks like they are playing the Spellslinger deck. That's fine. We'll play a Paradise Druid that they can't get rid of. into a questing beast. Alright, seems like they're trying to combo off. Alright, it's just a... doesn't actually do any damage, just grants trample, which this thing already has. Blocks. I had a customers come in, so... And we were losing that game anyways. Opponent was able to... Shock Dreadhorde Shock is a pretty potent combination. Okay. We can turn 1 Pelt Collector, turn 2 second Pelt Collector, turn 3 we've drawn a land at that point, so we're able to play Rada. So we'll get 2 triggers on Pelt Collector. Go ahead, scry. Leave that up. Oh, we should put it on that bottom. That's fine. We get double triggers next turn. Ah, Thought Erasure. If they get rid of the Domri, that'd be great. Domri is the least impactful card in our hand. Get rid of the Rada. Excellent. That's well, not excellent for us, but that's the probably one of the best cards they could have gotten out of the hand. Well, here's our Haster that we knew about, and now we're going to hit our opponent for 6 damage. Boom, boom. Unfortunately, their Cry of the Canarium, I'm assuming they have in hand, is going to clean up this board real well. Oh, just eliminate. Okay. Now they know we have the Bone Crusher in hand, so we have to play around them knowing that we have it. Hydroid Crisis. Okay. X is 2. So it'll be a 2/2. Okay. That's fine. Draw a card, gain a life. Awesome. Feel like they were baiting us into this Bone Crusher, but we'll do it anyways. Hopefully we draw a land, we'll be able to cast it. Oh, we did. Perfect. Boom. Bone Crusher. Make the team stronger. Hit for 5. Unfortunately, the rest of our hand is really pretty underwhelming. But thankfully, it didn't need to be. Opponent didn't have a way of dealing with the board. We were able to overwhelm them. Like I said earlier, that's going to do it for tonight's stream. Normally on Thursdays, we host a Final Fantasy tournament. We didn't have quite the turnout we were looking for to be able to host that tournament, so we played a little bit of Magic tonight. We appreciate you guys tuning in and supporting the stream. We hope to see you guys in the next stream. That's going to be Friday. That's going to be tomorrow for our usual Friday night Magic the Gathering, FNM, as the kids call it, Friday Night Magic. So hope to see you guys in that one. If you're looking to support the store and support the stream in more direct ways, you can do so by checking out our website, epicgamingpdx.com. There you'll be able to find all the pre-orders we have available, as well as all of our in-store stock for you to browse through. As always, thank you very much for tuning in. Enjoy your night, and stay safe out there.